Do you dare to believe it? Humans are not born. They're manufactured on an assembly line in a baby factory. Among the conveyor belts and sterilized steel, one baby stood out. This wasn't just any infant. This was Erbao. From the moment he appeared on the water supply line, he was a spectacle. He didn't cry like the others. He jumped boldly between the male and female discharge areas, leaving the machines confused. Was this a special baby? A glitch in the baby-making matrix? Eventually he was assigned to the boys' line and pushed through cleaning, diapering, and yes, farting. Other babies were puffed and powdered with care, but Erbao was nearly shot in the face with milk. After layers of manufacturing and a bit of chaos, Erbao reached the final step. While most babies were sent to families, Erbao had no emotional reaction. He was calm, calculated, like a tiny boss in a baby's body. He was dressed in a white suit tie gleaming with a diamond insignia. The document bag in one hand, milk bottle in the other. He wasn't headed to a family. He was assigned to the electronics department of Baby Corp. Alongside other suit-wearing infants, he began his undercover mission. Their true talent? Espionage. Meanwhile, in a regular suburban house, life was about to change. Dabao, the older brother, had never known competition. But that morning, a sleek black car pulled up. Out came Erbao, dressed sharper than Dabao's father on his best day. Ringing the doorbell, with all the confidence in the world, Erbao was welcomed inside. The parents beamed with joy, introducing him to Dabao as his new little brother. But Dabao instantly sensed something wasn't right. From that day on, Erbao took over the household. Every cry earned him love and attention. The parents, sleep-deprived and desperate to please the newborn, did everything to stop his tears. Dabao, once the center of the universe, felt his world collapsing. His nosebleeds returned, stress induced from falling, from dreaming. At 2:30, the parents were still dancing around Erbao, trying to soothe him. Dabao's photos were replaced with Erbao's. His toys were moved. His voice wasn't heard. One afternoon, fed up, Dabao confronted Erbao. What began as a tug-of-war in the hallway ended with Erbao letting go, sending Dabao flying into a backflip. Furious, Dabao tried to tell his parents, but they brushed him off. He's just a baby, they said. Later that night, Dabao heard noises. He crept upstairs and found Erbao on a secret phone call, speaking fluent baby business lingo. Dabao realized the truth. Erbao was not an ordinary baby. He was here on a mission. Calmly hanging up, Erbao turned to Dabao and without hesitation tossed him a wad of cash. Then, as if this was normal, he unlocked a safe, pulled out a glowing vial of milk labeled 1982 formula, and took a long swig. In the 8th season of Chaos, Erbao threatened Dabao. He'd replace him, win over their parents, and kick him out for good. That night, Dabao couldn't sleep. The baby was taking over. But Dabao wasn't about to go down quietly. The next day, he brought out an old radio recorder. If he could gather evidence of Erbao's evil plan, maybe the parents would believe him. Sneaking upstairs, Dabao found Erbao and his 5 mini agents holding a boardroom-style meeting. With the parents sipping tea downstairs, the babies discussed top-secret plans. Dabao recorded it all, until they caught him. He bolted, dashing for his dad, but the baby agents were fast. They drifted sideways like tiny racing cars, blocking every path. After a wild chase and some clever tricks, Dabao pinned Erbao down. Just as he was about to expose him, the parents walked in. The recording, destroyed. Dabao was grounded, locked in his room. His home had become a prison. That night, lying on his bed, tears streaming down, Dabao expected no one to care. But to his surprise, Erbao entered. "I'm not here to steal your family," Erbao admitted. "I'm here to save all babies." Turns out, Erbao is a billionaire baby agent from Baby Corp. His mission: stop the Mongolian dog group from stealing the world's love. Dogs, adorable as they are, had overtaken babies as the most loved beings on the planet. If this continued, Baby Corp would lose everything. Erbao had to stop the shift in affection. But now Dabao understood. This wasn't a rivalry. This was a mission. He agreed to help. Together, the two began investigating. Their parents, ironically, worked for the Mongolian group, the enemy. So the boys devised a plan. Pretend to be best friends. At first, it was awkward. Playing board games, sharing toys, faking giggles. But then something changed. They weren't pretending anymore. Soon they were on a trip to the Mongolian Dog Expo. Sneaking through dog-shaped vents and paw-printed corridors, Airball went undercover, but his excitement got the best of him. A single drool drop triggered the alarm. It was all a trap set by the original boss baby Superfat Baby. Once the pride of Baby Corp, he was kicked out when younger babies arrived. Fueled by jealousy, he stole the magical milk formula and began raising super puppies to take over the world. Superfat's ultimate plan? Launch a giant aircraft carrier filled with genetically modified adorable puppies across the world. These dogs would be so cute, humans would forget babies existed. And worse, Daebao's parents were on board, scheduled to activate the puppy parade. To stop him, Daebao and Erbao suited up. They painted Erbao's face green, using their mom's makeup to spook the villainous nanny, aka Strong Mom. With the help of reinforcements, Ruobao and Wuobao, they launched a counterattack. Fake vomit, ink spills, fake baby tantrums. It was chaos. Eventually the group made it to the aircraft carrier, but Erbao's milk had run out. Without his magical formula, he began to revert to a regular baby, sitting alone on the deck, crying. Dabao returned, singing their special brother song. The melody reached Erbao's ears. Moved, Erbao crawled toward Dabao, and together they made one final escape, parachuting off the ship, puppy in arms. With the world saved, Superfat Baby, now transformed into a squawking eagle from too much milk, was contained. Baby Corp was safe. Erbao was promoted, but he wasn't happy. Despite his golden toilet and high-tech desk, he missed Dabao. One day, Erbao received a letter. It was from Dabao, filled with love and longing. That was it. Erbao made his decision. He left his office, walked straight to the love distribution screen, and hit the reset. He chose to be a regular baby again. Moments later, a blue taxi stopped in front of Dabao's house. The door opened, and there he was. Erbao returned. A family reunited, love restored, triangle complete. But wait, what happened after the happily ever after? Dabao and Erbao now lived as brothers in the truest sense. Dabao taught Erbao how to ride a tricycle, how to sneak cookies without getting caught, and how to play hide and seek like a pro. Erbao in turn taught Dabao some of the Baby Corp's signature moves, like using baby powder as a smoke bomb and decoding bedtime stories for secret messages. Their days were filled with backyard adventures, imaginary missions, and spy games that turned into family bonding. They built forts out of pillows and turned bathtubs into submarines. At school, Dabao began to excel again. His confidence returned, boosted by the silent support of his baby brother. At night, Erbao would stare at the stars from his crib, thinking about baby. He wondered if another baby had taken his old desk, if the mission log still had his initials. But when Dabao would sneak in with a flashlight and a comic book, those thoughts would vanish. They'd read together under the covers until they both drifted off. Then came a knock at the door one rainy afternoon. It was a baby dressed in tactical diapers, rain boots, and a determined frown. Her name, Miss Q, Baby Corp's new top agent. She came bearing news a new threat was emerging. Grown-ups were starting to care more about AI than babies. The love charts were dipping. Humanity's attention was now being stolen by glowing rectangles and talking robots. Urba looked at Daba. Daba looked at Urba. "I'm in," said Urba. "But only if my brother comes too," Daba added. Miss Q hesitated. No ordinary child had ever joined Baby Corp missions, but she saw the fire in their eyes and nodded. From that day on, the brothers were unstoppable. Baby Corp reactivated Erba's credentials, gave Daba a sidekick badge, and the two set off to stop the AI uprising. Their first mission, break into a tech convention disguised as a baby expo. Their tools, pacifiers, rattles, and a robot costume made from cereal boxes. They faced drone armies, outwitted code-crunching bots, and exposed the villain, a rogue AI named Chatdot, who planned to erase bedtime and replace lullabies with productivity podcasts. Arbau delivered the final blow, reprogramming ChatBot with a looped recording of baby giggles and Dabau's snoring. The AI short-circuited from cuteness overload. Baby Corp was saved again, and this time it was different. Arbau wasn't just a boss, he was a brother, a partner, a legend. But just when you thought their journey had peaked, a new signal came through Baby Corp's emergency baby monitor. A mysterious transmission from an unknown location showed babies crying in fear. Trapped in a hidden facility beneath the Arctic Circle, Baby Corp had lost contact with its Arctic base months ago. Some suspected sabotage, others a defection. The only certainty, those babies needed help. Erbao and Dabao packed their gear. This mission required cold weather onesies, thermal pacifiers and snow boots with silent soles. Boarding a high-speed Baby Corp jet disguised as a flying diaper truck, the brothers headed north. Landing amid a blizzard, they descended into the frozen facility. What they found was shocking. A rogue faction of babies, led by a former Baby Corp prodigy named Iceblink. She believed babies should rule the world, not merely be loved. Iceblink had developed a machine that would freeze grown-up emotions, leaving babies as the only source of joy. The facility was a fortress of ice slides, bottle-shaped missiles, and milk-sickle launchers. Daybao distracted the guards by pretending to slip on baby oil, while Erbao infiltrated the control room. The showdown between Erbao and Iceblink was epic. Two genius babies dueling with rattles and strategy. Meanwhile, Jarbao uploaded a love virus into the emotion-freezing machine, using bedtime stories as the code. Iceblink, hearing a lullaby her own parents once sang, hesitated, and that was enough. The machine overloaded, blasting warmth across the Arctic and melting the ice fortress. The trapped babies were rescued. Iceblink, softened by the music, turned herself in, asking only for a bedtime hug. As they flew home, Erbao looked at Dabao and said, "There's always going to be a new threat, but as long as we face it together, there's nothing we can't handle." Dabao smiled. "You're not just my brother, you're my best friend." The screen fades to black. I must too. And that was the extended baby-powered, heartwarming, action-filled explanation of the Boss Baby. If you like this wild ride, be sure to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.